Hello, folks. This is part of train display. It's under construction. I know I hadn't worked on it for a while, but I actually decided this year to try to get it done for Christmas. This is one of the major displays on this train display, and it's a steel mill. It's not quite, I would say it's about 85% done. You can see this part, which was actually the part I bought, came from an auction house. And of course, I added to it. But the electrical transformer stuff, that came with it. This building here came with it. Anyway, here's the part of the job that I was doing today. This piece I added to it, and I wanted to ballast it to match the other piece. So, I looked at various techniques on YouTube of how to ballast your railroad. I wasn't really keen on any of them. Most of them involved soaking the tracks with glue and then wire brushing the glue when it dried off the rails. That to me sounded problematic. To me, the best way of keeping your rails so they'll conduct electricity is to separate them from the glue you're applying. So I thought about it, and one day I was putting food in the freezer, and I was using aluminum foil to wrap up the food, and I got an idea. I said, what if I take a strip of aluminum foil, like this one here, and mold it around the railhead, and then what I'll do is ballast the track, so the only glue I get, which will actually dry clear, is on the wooden part. And like I said, I put the aluminum around the rail, and when the glue had dried, I removed the aluminum foil from the track. You can see this section I just did like a half hour ago, and you can see it's all wrapped. The rails are all wrapped in aluminum foil, and when they dry, I'm gonna take them off. But like I said, that way the rails don't get coated in glue, so they can transmit electricity. Yeah, it's definitely coming along. I just got these two buildings here because they were kind of in the way, and they're going to go in different areas of layout. This building, however, is going to stay here. It's a yard tower named after a yard that's actually out near Pittsburgh called Conway Yards, and it was a push-button rail yard, one of the first in the country. So we've been doing this, cleaning up with my duck. And I'll tell you, they're great for, like, if you've got models that are dusty and you don't want to damage them. The duck is really great. It's not that expensive, and it really comes in handy getting in tight spaces. So anyway, that's where we are. I would say the hardest part was feeding the tracks into the main part of the layout, because there's not a lot of room back here. Like I said, I put the aluminum foil over the rail heads, and then I glued the ballast onto the track, and keeping the rail heads clear of whatever. But I'm going to take a break now and go to dinner, and what we'll do is eventually get power power back to the main part of the layout. That engine, of course, I had to make compromises. Like this outer rail is 072, which means that big PRR 210-4 can operate on it. The other rails go from 54 radius track to 31, and the 31, of course, is a really tight track that only a small engine can get past. But like I said, when I got this, when it was part of the train display that was on public display, it didn't even have trains pulling in here. I will have trains pulling in here. Also, every building that is staying with the display is going to be lit. So I already, the floodlight tower, that's all wired up. The building right here with the pipes going to it, that's all wired up. The other building over there, that's all wired up. It's, like I said, it's really coming along. Tomorrow, I'm going to take the aluminum foil that's still on the tracks. I'm going to take it off. The ballast should be set by then. So, like I said, I mean, if you're looking to ballast your tracks and, thinking of a neater, I mean, it's a little more tedious, obviously, but way to ballast your tracks, give my aluminum foil technique a try. Because like I said, the best way to keep your rails so that they'll conduct power is to not coat them with glue. So, anyway. We got, I know the house looks like a bit of a mess. Actually, it is. But we got, I bought this at a train meet, I would have to say at least 20 years ago. And I think it was made by Marklin. I could be wrong, I'm not sure. But it's a little bit oversized for my display, but I kind of liked it. And unfortunately, the chimneys were missing. So I made new chimneys, and the building was also not lit. Tonight, while I'm watching TV, I'm going to wire it up so that the building has lights. Like I said, I think it was made in Germany in 1950s. Like I said, I saw it, and the guy who sold it to me 20 years ago, I think he was only asking like $10 for it. So I was like, yeah, it sounds pretty cool to me. Sometimes you find a bargain. And like I said, I made the chimneys. Actually, I made the one here yesterday, and it was a bit of fitting to make it stand straight and tall and level. So, but that's something I can surely do. And anyway, that's pretty cool. And of course, this is going to be the crowning glory of the steel plant. Let me get it out of here. I bought this actually a few years ago, another train meet. These signs are actually, they're supposed to look like neon, and they actually do kind of look like neon. But that's going to be yeah, it's pretty cool. That's going to be on one of the main buildings. Now, these model steel pan actually came from a display in Virginia, and they had their own name on it. But of course, we're in Pennsylvania, and what was big in Pennsylvania in the last century? Steel. And one of the biggest outfits was next to U.S. Steel was Bethlehem. They also had plants in Baltimore and Lehigh Valley. But I saw the sign. I thought it was really cool the way it lights up, the way the letters light up. But that's going to go on there tomorrow. And Miller Engineering. If you go on eBay, they usually have a bunch of their signs. I got another sign that I'm going to put on a warehouse that's actually a Cracker Jack. The snacks, the caramel corn with the peanuts, which I used to love and shouldn't really eat anymore because it's got loads of sugar in it. But anyway, that's where we are today. God, like I say, we're making progress. I mean, some of this stuff I can do while I'm watching TV, and to be blunt, there's not been a lot of good things on TV to watch. So we'll do, and see you later.